When you look at LSU defensively, several hybrid players allows them to be very multiple. How difficult is that when you're preparing your offensive game?
Yeah, no, Dave does a great job with those guys. You're right. They've got several players that kind of double as, whether it's defensive lineman, outside linebacker, safety. I mean, they do have several hybrid players. They've done a good job recruiting those guys, and Dave puts them in a good position where they use them so many different ways. So no, they're very good defense, and that's a big part of it. We got good players across the board, and they've really improved throughout the year.
Then when you look at that offensive attack, a lot of talk about Joe Burrow, of course, the wide receiver corps, but they do have the best offensive line that you've seen. What really just stands out in general? Is it the passing game, or is it that they're so well-rounded offensively?
Well, I mean, yeah, the passing game stands out. I mean, that's the bread and butter. I mean, that's where it all starts for them. But they have ran the ball effectively too. They're not overly complicated what they do in the run game, but they do a good job of it. Obviously, the backs are good players as well, and then they've done a great job giving Joe time, and then Joe's done a good job feeding off of those guys as far as when they do make a mistake or when somebody gets loose. More often than not, he's able to make that guy miss or able to extend plays in the pocket or outside of the pocket and hit big plays down the field or take off running. So, they've put him in good position the majority of the year, but he's bailed them out a lot too, and I mean that's what the great ones can do. I mean, even our great old lines that we've had here in the past, at times our guys were able to bail them out every now and then, and that's the quarterback and O-line got to be working together, and they do a good job of it.
And then all the events surrounding being at the college football playoff, how excited are you for Saturday to come to actually kick this game off?
Yeah, no, we always are. And this bowl's been great. I got to give the Peach Bowl a lot of credit. They've had a great feel of. It's got to be a little difficult to put on a bowl game, something that's also a national semifinal. It's because they are different, and they've had a great feel for enjoying it and having good events, but not overdoing it on coaches or players. So this one's been good. We've enjoyed it, but we're certainly ready for Saturday.
Appreciate it, Lincoln.
Thanks.
Lincoln, I just asked CD. Guy acts like he knows what he's talking about. I just asked CD about what makes you special as a coach, as a quarterback's coach. He made the comment, sometimes I wish I was a quarterback so I could sit in the quarterback room. He talked about he's an open-hearted coach. What does that mean to you, and why is that one of your qualities that one of your players has singled out?
Open-hearted.
Open-hearted. Not in a surgical sense.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Might have to get a translation. No, I mean, I think our guys. My guess is what he's talking about. I think our guys know where we stand on most things. We're pretty open with our players on any subject. No problem admitting when we're wrong. No problem letting them know where they stand, what we're thinking. So I think there's a level of respect there, from both sides, and that's just, we try to always. We want to be on the same page. We want to always be able to communicate with our guys, and that's always been our approach. And then I think that's just kind of who we are.
Now, I've asked guys about you as a quarterback's coach. When you talk about different skill sets between Baker and Kyler and Jalen, how do you get the most out of three completely different guys? How do you get guys like that who have different skill sets to maximize their own skill sets?
I think the balance of not being so rigid in your scheme that we're going to do this no matter who we have, and not try to tailor it to them, but also you got to have core things that you believe in too, and you got to have a package. You can't have just a bunch of random plays, and or you can't just change completely for one player, and so we've been able to find a good balance in that. I continue to give a lot of credit to our offensive staff and the continuity we've had in there, because I think that's allowed us to, instead of coaching new coaches every year, guys figuring out what we're doing. I mean, that we're pretty much on the same page, and so we're able to do new things. We're able to adapt, I think, a little bit more easily because of the time we've spent together as an offensive staff. So, and then we've been able to surround those quarterbacks each year with good players, and we've been able to give them weapons. We've been able to give them offensive lines, and equip them to play well. So it's been a combination of all those things.
Jalen had his 3 years at Alabama. He had 4 different quarterback coaches, 4 different coordinators. Did Did you find yourself with the eraser out a lot, fixing and correcting and knocking off rust, or different schemes or philosophies or mindsets with him?
Yeah, I mean, teaching him the scheme was not. I mean, that was fairly normal. I mean, that's we obviously tried to rush that as much as we could, but yeah, probably the biggest challenge throughout the whole thing has been just the way we play, the way we want to position play. Not necessarily is this guy going left or right out of this break. That's not. He's a smart kid. He's worked hard at it. That hasn't been the biggest challenge, but yeah, certainly the way he was coached before versus now is quite a bit different. It's a little difficult to explain, but it's just a little bit different overall mentality in playing the position, and he's taken to it well, but it's certainly been a challenge.
I wish you could explain it.
Yeah, at some point. I'll put it in the book.
How is he behind it? We've seen at these things, obviously, for the media, it's not his favorite thing to do.
I'm with him.
But I mean, it's pretty apparent from his body, that this is just
sure.
This is not what he gets into.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, y'all see. We see different
what do you
sides.
see? But yeah, obviously you see a different.
Yeah, no, we do. I mean, it's how you characterize it. I mean, I mean, all of us in these scenarios are going to be guarded to a sense. I mean, it's just the world we live in, and when the public eye's on you, everything you say is dissected 1,000 different ways. It kind of forces you to be that way. And so for him, certainly around his teammates or in a meeting room and all that. I mean, he's not the most jovial person on our team all the time, but he laughs. He has fun. I mean, in a lot of ways, I know we always say he's not normal or overly mature, but in a lot of ways he's really normal too. And so just kind of got to get to know him, but no, he's been a lot of fun.
But he's even a little guarded around, and coming into a new program, I'm sure, and for 1 year only, was an interesting dynamic. But so fair to say, though, even around with you guys, he's a little, not necessarily, I don't know if guarded is the right word, but
he was a little bit in the beginning, but I think it's more just to get to know you, and then we've had some pretty candid conversations about, look, we don't got 2 or 3 years to break down the walls here. Like, I mean, we gotta, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do it. And me too. I mean, I got where I knew those other quarterbacks so well in our room that it's taking the time to get to know somebody and trying to speed up a relationship that a lot of times takes multiple years to build to be really good, in my opinion. And so he's done a great job of it. He's been engaging, and I rarely walk out of there thinking that we're not 100% on the same page.
Link, all right. Well, I was going to ask you one other thing, if you don't mind. What did that one loss, where has that made this team what it is right now? That losing that K State game and the way you lost it, I mean, y'all been through most of the seasons. I think y'all had a loss.
Yeah,
right,
all
to
of
get
them.
to the playoffs.
All of them.
Did that feel any different this year, or instill something that you see in that team that made this team what it is today?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different challenge. It's a different challenge with your team, and I think it's always just interesting of whenever adversity hits, whether it's in a game or if you do lose a game, like just what do you do after that? And it's some of it I think you can attribute to the expectations of this program and the fact that it has been done before, but you still have to go do it, and it's never easy. I mean, it tests you, and our team responded to it. I think there were things that were very apparent after that game that we needed to do a lot better, kind of all across the board, and you either sulk about it and don't do it, or you listen to the outside who tells you that now you can't do this and that, and now you're this bad, or you trust what you have inside and you go correct the things and you go back to work, and we did that. And and then even after that, you get the deal at Baylor where you're down like we were down, and you gotta hang in there and swing. These things are hard, and so now this is definitely one of the tougher teams that we've had just across the board. It's a mentally tough team.
You said on Monday, Lincoln, that from a multi-year standpoint, you don't feel pressure to win a national championship or anything like that. But the fact you've been in the playoff every year as a head coach, has that changed the bar, at least like for fans or internally, that hey, we've been there every year, but we haven't won one yet? Does that change the bar for you, or does that set it in an unfair place?
That's to be judged on the outside. You know, I can't. I knew coming into this job, you know, that this place has high expectations. You know, and I think we've done pretty decent. And but yeah, I think each year you're just the view that you guys have, or maybe that fans have about looking at it over a multi-year period. All that's just not our view. I mean, having that view doesn't help us beat LSU, you know, and it didn't having that view of, you know, playing Baylor a couple weeks ago in the Big 12 of winning the last couple doesn't help us beat Baylor here today. We got to go do it, and so no, it's you know, maybe some point down the road, but right now you're just kind of in the moment, and there's so much different about this team. There's so much different about the team we're getting ready to play that's you know, has to have our complete focus right now. So I don't. Down the road, certainly, do you want to? These opportunities are so hard. I mean, it's to get in the, you know, if you're in the NFL, you know, what do you got? You got however many teams end up in the playoff, and the percentage of teams in the playoff versus teams in the league is now do the percentage of 4 teams in this one versus, you know, 130 or whatever it is right now. I mean, it's hard to do. And so, yeah, you want to take advantage of every game, every opportunity you get like this. You also understand they're hard to get here, and we know how we've gotten here. And to win and to take another step is going to take, you know, being able to singularly focus on this with this team and these coaches.